Most end-of-year content boils down to one message. If you're more disciplined, you'd have done more. In this video, I'm going to show you 4 ways on how you can actually look back at your year before deciding what more even means. I'm going to show you how to create a year in review movie, how to build an impossible list, a different way to approach creating yearly goals, and one final fun thing, which I'll reveal at the end. As a mom to 2 young children, these new ways of looking back at my year don't make me feel like I'm behind and actually makes me feel grateful for the year that I've had. Besides that, let's get started with the first one. The Vox YouTube channel releases a video every year titled 2024 in 4 minutes, 2023 in 7 minutes, and so on. I look forward to this video so much, and I often cry when I watch them. We are often in the weeds of everything, only remembering things that happened a week ago, and it's on to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. The good news is we can make these end-of-year videos by ourselves. So instead of ending the year thinking, I didn't do anything, or we didn't do much as a family, you can collect your photos and videos of, playing and learning to skate mixed with bigger moments like trips and things. This lets your family see and celebrate all the things that happened that year. So here's how you can make it. You can create an album on your phone called 2025 Year in Review and go through each month and save photos and videos to this album. Step number 2 is to choose a video editor. If you want to make it on a laptop or computer, you can use Canva, iMovie, or DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use, but it's very advanced software. It looks like Photoshop. If you want to do it on your phone, you can use the Photos app where you can save, the photos and videos in an album, and then you can add music to it to create like a slideshow. Or you can use InShot or CapCut. But with CapCut, I think you have to pay to export the video. Not sure. Step number 3 is you can choose to create a story out of your video. So you can group certain moments together, like park days or the trip that you had, and add like a voiceover or like text on it. It's like how if you made a scrapbook into a video. Make some popcorn and call your family over to watch it. Make it an event. This is the #1 thing that makes me truly happy to myself about making. Whenever I look at it, it makes me feel happy for everything that has happened, and it makes me feel inspired for everything that can happen. It's my main source of inspiration at the end of every year when coming up with my goals for that year. And no, it's not a complex system that I follow or a whole journal set up that I have to check off every day. It's simply a list. An impossible list. Put simply, an impossible list is a running tally of everything that you've done and also a bucket list of the things that you want to do. Unlike a bucket list where things exist there in isolation, an impossible list is built on previous things that you have done. Your impossible list honors momentum. Past achievements don't disappear on December 31st. It's also not a list that you look at every day. I only look at mine probably once every 2 to 3 months. Let's take a quick look at my impossible list. There are a lot of things here that I took out because an impossible list is incredibly intimate. Like, it would show everything about who you are. So I'm going to share my screen. So here's my impossible list. At the top, I have goals under life goals, and these are big general goals that take a long time to finish. So for example, I have here get a bachelor's degree. And once you complete a goal, you write down the month and year that you accomplished that goal. But what's special about an impossible list is that once you finished a goal, you create a bullet point, an indented bullet point underneath it that builds on top of that goal. And another one below that is get a master's degree. Now, a master's degree is dependent on having a bachelor's degree. So that is the core of an impossible list, that your past achievements build up to another goal that you can do. So you can track everything this way, and it truly inspires me to keep going on what I've already done. So below here, I have passive income goals. And these are more quantifiable goals where you can track it by a certain number. So for example, like make first $10 on YouTube and make $100, $500. You can see that creating these goals in an impossible goals list, it never ends. You can have professional goals, you can have creative goals, skill-related goals, travel goals, you can have financial goals. Something that I also like to track in my impossible list is continuous learning. It's very important for me to have a growth mindset. So I have goals to continually learn about certain subjects. For example, here I have learn more about business, personal finance, and entrepreneurship. So whenever I read a book in this category, I will write it down. Right now I'm in Notion. I have here a database. Again, I'm going to sound really technical now, but here I have a database of all the books that I've read, and this is where I put in all the books that I read, and I have it filtered here to show the books that I've read regarding personal finance and business. And yeah, so anytime I add a book into the books I've read database in Notion, and I come here into my possible list, it automatically filters the books that I've read regarding this topic. I have another one of those here. So learn more about self-development, self-improvement. I have the books I've read database showing me the books that I've read in those categories, in those genres. For health, here I only have one so far. So yeah, those are how I track about topics that I want to continually learn from, and not necessarily like a course or degree. So that's how I keep track of that. I have learning goals here, and then I have homeschooling goals, and you can keep track of the years you homeschooled with an impossible list as well. And below here, I have a link to where I first found out about an impossible list. I've actually only heard it through this website by College Info Geek. That's how I first learned about it, and then I implemented it right away. So that's an impossible list. Step number 3 is to make a list of goals for the year. Research has shown that you are more likely to do the things if you write them down. So if you are someone that doesn't have a lot of time, I recommend doing the following step before writing down your list of goals. And this step is measuring your time. After you have calculated the things that you have to do and how much time that takes, you subtract the time that you take from sleeping, and then you get this time, the number of hours you have extra that you can do on the things that you want to do. So I'm going to share my screen to show you what I mean by this. What I've done here is that I've written down the things that I have to do in a day. So the first one is wake up and the things you do related to waking up. Even if your days are not always the same, you can see like a pattern with your time and what you do with it. So the next one is like workout and shower, and that takes from 7:45 to 8. So that's 1 hour, 1.25 hours. Breakfast, play with kids, prepare lunch, nap time for my littlest one, lunchtime, bath time, clean bathroom, dinner time, and then story time, bedtime for kids, which takes 7:30 to 8:30. So do this step and write down roughly the time that you think it happens, and then the amount of time that it takes for those two things to happen. So everything that I've listed for the things that I have to do take 10 hours in my day. Here I've written down total time it takes to do the must-do tasks above, which is 10 hours. My bedtime is 11 p.m. My wake-up time is 7 a.m. So the total sleep time I have is 8 hours sleep. So my total waking time hours, which is 7 to 11 a.m., is 16 hours. So you subtract 16 minus 10, that's 6 hours of available time that I can do on things that aren't a must-do task. I hope it's clear on the thing that we're trying to measure here. So I kind of wrote down the time slots of when I do have like potential available time. That's wrong here. I'm not sure why I did the math wrong. Anyway, that's how you can measure your time. Remember that things often take longer than what you planned for. Things like cleaning, cooking, running errands, and shopping take a huge amount of time. The potential available time might be a lot smaller. But measuring time like this is also useful in seeing things that you can potentially outsource to someone else. So looking at this list allows you to figure out what you can delegate. And it also motivates you in seeing that every spare minute where you are not taking care of the kids, cleaning, or cooking can be put towards on something that you want to achieve. This time measuring exercise can be powerful because instead of thinking time as a moral failing, it becomes a math problem. Instead of why can't I do more, it becomes, oh, I only have 7 hours a week to learn X or do Y. That changes everything. Now that you've measured your time and you've created an impossible list, it should be a little easier now to create your goals for the year. I'm going to leave a master list of goals, hobbies, sport, health related goals, and other projects that you can potentially add to your list of 2026 goals. These can also be added to your impossible list as well. I want to quickly show you my 2025 goals and also compare my new setup for 2026. So here here are my 2025 goals and how I set them up. So here at the top, I have be healthier, a general category, and underneath it, I made more specific goals. So make nutritious smoothies. I made smoothies several times a week. Continue to take A outside at least one time per day. So I continue doing that. I've had that every year since my son was born. He's 4 now, by the way. Play badminton in the summer. I did that. Swimming 1 time per week. Did not do that. Meal plan 3 meals in a week. I would say I did that. I'm not sure why it's not checked off. Stop eating at 7 p.m. Did I execute this perfectly? No, I did not. But I would say most of the time I did that. But the second half of the year has put our entire life in a whirlwind because we moved to Turkey and then we moved back. So I would say some of these last 2 habits don't eat any fast foods except Subway. We ate at a fast food restaurant at an airport. So the next one is take as many master classes. I did that. I believe I took 8 master classes before my subscription ended in October. Published 3 videos per month. Did not do that. Read 5 nonfiction books. This originally was like nonfiction books related to homeschooling and parenting and things like that, but I just changed it to nonfiction. Work on the Notion pages. I finished all the Notion pages that I wanted to create this year. The last one was be okay with mess. And I would say I achieved that this year with a toddler and a baby. We did all the house projects that we wanted to do. I also had a goal of losing weight, and so I kept track of it this way. I didn't actually list my goals here, but I did list like the fluctuations in weight per week. And I kept track of, I decided in March to purchase a workout program that was like friendly to women that are like in postpartum. So I finished that and I'm doing it all over again. Started in October and I'm repeating the weeks like triple. That's why it's going to be until January till I finish phase 3.
You are fierce and strong. Don't start doubting yourself right now.
These are the Notion dashboards that I did, and these are the original books that I wrote that I wanted to read this year, but I prioritized other nonfiction books instead, which I have it shown here. Those were my 2025 goals. So here is my 2026 goals page, and this year I've decided to redact some things to share on YouTube. So at the top here, I just wanted to write my top 3 goals. And then below that, I have health related goals. So I want to complete the 10-minute plan, which is the next workout program that you can buy after you finished the previous one, which I'm on now, which is called the 12-week postpartum plan. And I lose a certain amount in weight, and this is the weight tracker that I have. I have faith-related goals. I have a list of books that I want to read. These are nonfiction. I never plan fiction books that I want to read in a year. I have a list of house projects, which are just 2, list of homeschooling projects, list of coding-related projects. I worked as a software developer. I have a list of other projects, and I have a house wish list, and I have a monthly layout where I can break down my goals month by month. Step number 4 is to write a letter to your future self. So I use the website called Future Me, which lets you write your letter on the website, enter your email, and just click send to the future. You know, you never can know how your life will change in a year. Getting those emails have often made me laugh and seriously consider, well, the state of my life. I encourage you to write a heartfelt letter about how you're feeling, your hopes, your dreams, your letdowns. Your letters don't need to have a structure or the list of goals you created previously. I think it's better to imagine that you were talking to a future version of yourself. What would you say to her? I didn't create this list overnight. I feel like every year I implement or try something new because I like to make an event out of welcoming the new year. When I first started, I just made a New Year's resolution on a scrap piece of paper, and I've improved, I guess, my goal planning strategies year after year. I realized that you can make excuse after excuse, but in the end, it's all up to you. Someone with less money is doing the thing that you want to do. Someone with less time is doing the thing that you want to do. Someone with more kids is doing the thing that you want to do. So I'm going to leave you with some quotes to motivate you for the new year. The first one is greatness takes guts, and often it's the courage to eliminate the things you can do fairly well so you have the capacity to do one thing exceptionally well. Have the courage to take more off your plate. James Clear. I do not believe you can have it all, or at least not in the same time in life. First of all, having is a possessive word. When we focus on having a baby, having a marriage, having a great and successful job, and having lots of material stuff, we have lost touch with the most important part of life, being. Having a successful career and making lots of money that allows you to buy more stuff doesn't help you to be more present for the ones we love, children, spouses, family, and friends. Intimacy requires time. Giving up your role as a primary caregiver comes with sacrificing physical and emotional intimacy with your child. Erica Kamsar from the book Being There, Why Prioritizing Motherhood in the First 3 Years Matters. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year.